Attention, listeners and viewers across the galaxy, all the way from Australia to Houston. Do we have a hairy bush problem? We do. If so, our friends at Manscaped have cleared you for takeoff with their 4th generation brand new Lawnmower 4.0. Kick your bush to the next planet with the Performance Package 4.0. The orbits in your pants will feel like you're in zero gravity when you use the best tools for the job. From the leaders in male grooming, join the 2 million bros worldwide who trust Manscaped and get your rocket ready for takeoff. Another reference to your junk. By going to manscaped.com, get 20% off and free shipping with the code FOODTRUCK. He's one of the baddest middleweights in the world. He's coming off a huge win over Darren Till. He's ready for a title shot. We flew him all the way from North Carolina to eat some barbecue on this week's Food Truck Diaries. It's Derek Brunson. Derek Brunson.
What's up, man?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
All is well.
Yeah, feeling good?
I'm feeling good,
You
man.
look good, man. That's why I said right when I saw him,
Just
like,
a little
damn, you
bit.
stay in shape,
Yeah,
dog.
just a little bit. I try to keep the diet clean,
Really?
stay in shape year round. You never know, when you might have a fight coming up.
Yeah, it's tough living in North Carolina because you guys got good food out there.
Yeah, we got really good food. We right by Wilmington, North Carolina. We right by the ocean, so
Really?
like a lot of fresh seafood. But that stuff don't get you really big.
That's
so
true.
You keep that
You're
all the
staying on
time.
seafood.
Right, yeah.
How you feeling, man? And tell me if this is offensive.
Okay.
If I say it's one of the biggest wins of your career, but when you look at your resume, I mean, you fought everybody. I mean, literally everybody. And I think this one was big, not so much for you to get a title shot, big deal.
Right.
I think it was big because the hype around Darren Till, because he was at a fork in the road and he was favored going into the fight. And I said this on my show, I'm like, man, it's not a knock on Till, and I know he's coming off a rough skid, but if they think giving him Derek Brunson to get back on track, I feel like it's a bad idea. Just stylistically. Like, you fought everybody. So it's like, for you, like, this is just another day. Like, Darren Till's a really good fighter, ridiculous stand-up, and hopefully he gets it together and goes on to do great things, but this ain't the fight to get back on track, man. You know what I'm saying? Did you feel, so 2 things. Did you feel that it was a big fight, even though you've had bigger fights? Yeah. And did you feel pressure going into it, even though you were underdog?
I felt it was a big fight.
Yeah.
Every fight going forward is like a big opportunity, like showcase yourself and prove that you get the title shot. We're in the social media era with like as many eyes and just momentum gets you a title shot, So, but when it comes to these fights, I don't feel pressure. I've been around the block for a long time. I've been whipping behind since Strike Force days, So
You've been doing it for a hot second.
Yeah. And I guess guys get older and they start not being as motivated, and I'm one of the guys that's going to keep the motivation because that's just me as a person. So each fight, I go into it thinking, I got to take care of it.
Yeah, I think a little bit maybe flew under the radar a little bit, especially maybe you were a dog for this reason because obviously you fought Izzy, who's, Izzy's the champ, and then he become the champ, and then since that fight, you've been on just a straight tear where you've become undeniable. Because I think there is a thing where, how many views and eyeballs and social media followers, it'll take you pretty far.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you have to win.
Right.
And then you come undeniable, and you're winning. The UFC, they're it's not that they're in a predicament. They're in a predicament because Izzy and Whitaker need to fight, right?
Right.
And we don't know when that's going to happen. You have COVID. They're in New Zealand, Australia. They're locked down like hell. So we don't know what's going to happen. But you're in a good spot regardless. Because it's like, I heard you say, I'm not broke. I'm smart with my money. I can wait this out. You could,
right.
You could, but you're looking at mid next year.
Right.
If you think about it, you're looking at mid 2022 if you want to wait that long.
Right.
Or, there's rumblings of Jared Cannonier because he's on tier 2. So I don't know if that interests you. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy, Sometimes this game is all about patience, And like you said, if I wait, it could be like late next year or the middle of next year. You got guys like Cannonier out there, but I have some weird feeling like Whitaker isn't going to make it to the fight. You know what I mean? So I just feel like, I'm like, man, let's see what happens. Let's give it a couple months. They got some fights going on. Vitor, Costa, they're about to fight. So,
It's a good fight.
Yeah, it's a very good fight, And you got a guy like Costa who UFC sent the contract to fight me, and that guy's number 2. So, like, a win over him, that definitely gets me the next title shot.
Do you think you need that, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, because if I'm your management, Ollie, who I love Ollie, if I'm your management, you're not some young spring chicken. You've been around the block. You fought Anderson Silva, Leo Machado, Yoel Romero, Izzy. I mean, you fought everybody.
Right.
You have huge wins. And it's, this better than anyone. It's so hard to get a title shot.
Absolutely.
To become champ is damn near impossible. To get a title shot in this day and age of the UFC is damn near impossible. So to me, when you said you're going to wait, in my head I went, I'd wait. I would wait it out.
Yeah.
I would wait. Like if they want to toss the Jared Cannonier, like if you win this, you're guaranteed a title shot. It's like, but am I guaranteed if I just wait? Because I've earned it. Look at the guys that beat. You've tossed me, let's be honest, they've tossed you some young lions who they thought, all right, Derek Brunson's the name, let's toss him Brunson. You beat the shit out of him. They tossed you Till. Till had all the hype. You beat the shit out of him. So now it's like, what else you guys got, man?
Yeah,
give me Izzy.
And when I fought Hollins, he was on a 5-fight winning streak. He knocked Jacare out from his back. He was just destroying guys. A lot of hype behind him. And I'm like 100%, let's not say 100, let's say 95% sure. If Hollins would have beat me, that would have been 6 in a row for him. 100% UFC makes Hollins versus Izzy next.
Agree 100%.
Didn't happen, So then I fight Till. Izzy mentioning Till name, saying, I want to fight Till next. So Till had to get through me,
Yep.
So if Till gets through me, a guy, he's probably sitting 3 or 4 in the rankings, and
he would have got title shot, guaranteed.
Yeah, so that's the thing, man. It comes down to the small things, like, okay, you and Cannonier, is that guaranteed a title shot? Or if you wait, how long? Because they haven't released a date for Whitaker Adesanya yet.
It's tough.
So it's just, we can wait a little bit. We can wait a month, see what happens.
Yeah, sounds smart. Yeah, there's no rush.
No rush, right.
Like you're just waiting on those guys. Yeah, there's no rush. And when you look at that Izzy rematch, and it's also title fights too, it's about the story.
Right.
Like that, I forget the homeboy's name who they just signed. He knocked Izzy out
right.
in kickboxing.
Right.
Like there's a story there. I bet if he wins 4 fights, he's gonna be fighting for a title.
Right.
So it's all about the story. But the story with you, it's great. You fought him, you lost, and now you're on this tear like that. The rematch to me makes sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In this fight game, you can make excuses, but nobody want to hear that.
No.
You go in the fight, injuries, everybody's a little banged up. So like, if you make it to the fight, however the fight go, you got to live with it. But me, myself, personally, I know things in the Izzy fight. I'm back home and I'm training with, soccer dads, cardio kickboxing dads and stuff like that. I just opened my gym.
Oh, to get ready for that.
To get ready for that fight.
That's
so
tough.
Imagine trying to get ready for a top fight and you don't have these guys. I'm just clowning them in the gym, so my heart rate isn't getting up.
You don't have world-class guys pushing you.
So then that's when I made the transition to Sanford, and I've been down
after
there
that fight.
After that fight,
oh damn,
and
I didn't know that.
5 in a row,
Damn.
So we got like 20, 30 guys that fight in the UFC, about 10 in Bellator, 1 FC, champion my weight, monsters.
Yeah.
So like, imagine having that, Tyrone Spong, Jason Jackson. These guys are like super good strikers. Having these guys getting ready for a big fight, your heart rate is up. You took a little lumps. Now you know how to deal with it.
If you got Spong in that bitch.
Yeah, I know. We're good.
Nightmare.
Exactly, right? So that's a guy who's unquestionably one of the best kickboxers in history. So like, imagine having that in your corner, getting ready for another striker.
Yeah.
You've seen it all. So I made these adjustments and I got things that didn't happen the last time. And also, we had a hurricane. My town was underwater for 2 weeks.
Yep.
So I went from that to the fight, you know? And like I said, no excuses, but I know we did things, we can do things differently.
But to caveat, it's also like, it's proofs in the pudding. It's not like, some guys that come on here and be like, I switch camps, it's gonna be different than time. Like, all right, dude. But for you made the change, you've won 5 in a row, dominating dudes. So it's like, yeah, obviously, it's what he did, he's telling the truth, like, you become a better fighter. So that's what I think makes fans interested in the rematch.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's funny, before, when I was mentioning, hey, I'm going to work my way back up to this Izzy fight, let's say a fight after I won. They're like, he's going to smoke you, like 100% said he's going to smoke you. Then I win another fight. Then it's about 90. Win another fight. It's about 80. Win another fight. Let's go 5 fights in a row. Now, it's kind of mixed. I hear people online, you still have the Izzy guys, like, he's going to smoke you, same thing happens, and then everybody's like, Brendan Brunson is going to crush this guy in the first round. The ground and pound, get this guy out of there. So, like, we have people believing. So, yeah, I think there's, a reason to make the fight, given with earned the streak and just people believing.
Yeah, I think you've earned it, man. I really do. And then you look at, like, the guys you're beating, like, you're beating the top young lions that the UFC wants to push. And they're like, nope, not yet, young man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're beating, and they're not hype trained because these are Kevin Holland's talented guy. Who's it? Shabazian, talented guy. Like, you're beating these monsters and they're talented. It's just not their time. So I think when you're beating them, you're gonna get some backlash because people want those guys to do well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the funny part is all these older guys, like let's say Diego Sanchez, or like the older guys, the vets in the UFC, about the same as me. They're like, I don't want to fight these young guys, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I want to fight somebody,
Correct.
you know, but I'm like, hey, bring it on. You know, I'm staying in shape and I'll fight anybody.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah.
And when you, because, you know, Izzy only has one blemish on his record. And to me, it's not even a blemish. The dude shot for the moon and landed on the stars. Like, he was trying to get through, you know, Jan to get to John Jones. There's no secret there. And I think when he got there, you know, Jan, have you ever seen Jan in person? Like, he's a big fucking dude.
Yeah.
Like 240, grappler, like that size difference was a lot for Izzy. But that's the first time that you saw Izzy kind of struggle with grappling. Like, we saw him for the first time really doing work off his back. Is there any takeaways there that you can use? But he's a big dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, was it a size thing or was it a technique thing?
With Izzy?
With Izzy against Jan. Like, when I watched that, yeah. I was like, you know, some of the shrimping, some of that stuff, even though he's a purple belt, like, it's when you have a guy that big and skilled, right. Like, I can't tell if it's a skill thing or if it was a size thing. That was my takeaway from it.
Well, I think it was more of Jan just fought a smart fight. He wasn't really aggressive towards Izzy. And if you look at guys like, who was that had a lot of success? Gaslam had good success against Izzy, landed a lot, dropped him a couple times. Yeah, well, I think maybe fight of the year or close to it.
Yeah, top 5 in middleweight division.
It's just one of those things with Izzy. If you sit back, Whitaker, he had a bad time because he rushed and went out there blitzing, you know?
Got lit up.
But it's like, if you sit back a little bit and like, don't be so aggressive, like kind of play chess with Izzy a little bit, you're gonna have a better way at the fight. When I fought Izzy, I was rushing in, trying to grab him. I'm like, man, if I get him to the ground one time, I'm gonna destroy you. I knew that, you know? But just trying to get there wasn't set up right, wasn't the right approach. So it's like, okay, I watched a lot of fights. You know, I watched our fight. So it's just the small things. Even, you know, Jan showed it, you know, blueprint, you know, just take your time, don't be so aggressive.
Don't rush it.
Don't rush it, let the fight
There's a fine line there too, because you don't want to Yoel Romero it.
Right, exactly. It
was like somebody dropped the controller and he was just like sitting there the whole time, like, come on, go, dog, you know? Hey, man, it's been tough out there. Maybe your gym's not open, or maybe your gym's forced you to wear a mask. You're like, man, I just wish I could work out at home, get a good workout. I got you guys covered, man. Now you can get world-class workouts with Peloton. Peloton delivers a workout that you'll never imagine was possible right from your crib. Your boy has one here. I stay on that bike, the Thick Boy Bike Club. My name on there is Thick Boy Prez. Look it up. I'm on that bitch all the time, man. I'm putting in the miles. My favorite is Robin because she has dope music. She has the great Tabata workouts. They have 20-minute workouts, 30-minute workouts. They have yoga. They have freaking weights. They have weights and cardio. It's great, man. Any music list you're looking for, country, hip hop, you know, if you're a raver, they got that stuff for you. We got you covered, man. So whatever you're looking for, when you purchase Peloton bike, you get access to live classes, thousands of classes on demand, plus access to an app to help you get moving anytime, anywhere. Hotel rooms, your aunt's room, stay at the stepmom's house. You can get a workout in, man. With Peloton bike, there's nothing like working out from home. Learn more at onepeloton.com. New members can try Peloton classes for 30 days at onepeloton.com/app. Terms apply. That's onepeloton.com. ONEPELOTON.com. Peloton classes free for 30 days. Attention, listeners and viewers across the galaxy, all the way from Australia to Houston. Do we have a hairy bush problem? We do. If so, our friends at Manscaped have cleared you for takeoff. We got you covered, man. And the Weed Whacker, which I recommend, it's waterproof, all right? It trims your nose and ear. So you got those hairy-ass ears. You know, like your dad and grandpa had the hairy ears back in the day. It's terrible looking, so take care of that, because definitely no girls or dudes like that. And then for the crop preserver, it's a ball deodorant, all right? So if your balls get all sweaty, this is gonna solve that, man. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code FOODTRUCK at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code FOODTRUCK at manscaped.com. Your dick and balls need some help for a clean Trinity and beyond. Another reference to your dick, space reference. Space balls, well, thank you. I think, too, with you, it's like when you get these guys down, obviously you have a background in wrestling, but you're also a black belt in jiu-jitsu, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot for people to deal with, man.
Yeah, man, that's the underrated part of my game, is a lot of people don't know that I'm a black belt.
Everyone always talks about your wrestling, like, you're a Henzo black belt, right?
Yeah, for sure.
It's not like you got black belt from, you know, order off fucking eBay. Like, it's a Henzo Gracie black belt.
Right.
Yeah. it's tough to get, man.
Absolutely.
You know what the fuck you're doing down there.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
man.
man.
And that's the thing, man. It's like, I've been taken out once in my career, but I'm like, man, can somebody take me down? I like the arm bar, triangle someone, show off my black belt on the
show
ground.
all that work off.
Right,
it's a lot of work.
Yeah, for sure.
I told you I owed you some food or something, man, because I bet money on you in that Till fight. I made some bank, man. So I couldn't believe you were a dog, so let me feed you, man.
Let's eat, man.
Let's do it. Fried Oreos. So fat. Sounds so delicious.
You guys aren't playing around, huh?
What do you recommend for our first time, man?
Definitely 3 little biggies. Just try that. Brisket taco, super good. The street pup is like a play on classic downtown hot dog.
Oh shit, my pants fight that.
And then the Brussels sprouts for the side, truffle mac and cheese. You can't miss.
You said you're fighting mid-2022,
Yeah,
so we can go a little
might have
nuts.
to push it back a little bit with
Yeah,
this.
I'm gonna fuck the whole game plan up, man. I'll do the big bad wolves and the 3 little pigs. Is that cool?
I'm gonna go with the 3 little piggies, and just so I feel good about myself, let me get the crispy Brussels sprouts. Yeah, let me try that.
Yeah, I'll go with the Brussels sprouts too. And then any other side you think? I'll let you pick.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I
sure,
mean if you put them in there, I'll try them.
Anything to drink? We got some craft sodas.
I'll take a water, man, since I'm gonna have these biscuit.
Nothing died, huh? Try to watch my weight before I eat all this shit. Is it twist off? No. Hey boss, do they have a bottle opener? Someone has a bottle. I mean, out of this crew, someone has a bottle opener. Are you sure?
Yeah, positive.
Really? No, there's no way. Try twisting off, Doug. Let me see it, Doug.
Oh,
man,
man.
That's crazy. All right, there you go. Let's dig in, my man. It's a lot of carbs here, my man.
Yeah, man.
This is the opposite of keto.
I gotta do a lot of workouts after this.
I apologize, man. But, you know, we have to celebrate, man. Have you celebrated your victory yet? What do you do after? I mean, I've been doing this for a hot second. It's just like another day in the office. You're like, whatever.
Yeah, no, this is how I celebrate, you know? I like food.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, I go in and get some like cookies, donuts. I eat on that for about a week. Then I'm back to my regular diet, so.
How well do you keep up with the sport? Are you like a student of the game? Like, I know a lot of fighters like, I don't pay attention to any of it. Like, how do you feel about like, did you watch Evander Holyfield, Vitor?
Yeah, I watch a lot of MMA. I watch a lot of combat sports. And yeah, I watched that particular fight, man. It was crazy. You know? I watched the lead up to it more so.
Yeah.
I watch Holyfield do like, you know, open workouts, interviews and stuff. And he just seemed a bit off, you know. I didn't
Felt bad for him.
Yeah, you know.
It was the first time I was like, oh, the celebrity, like, you can't call them celebrities. It's like this golden age of like, you know, obviously Vitor's whatever, 40-something, and then Evander's damn near 60.
Right.
There's a reason 6-year-olds don't fight, man. You know, even though it's Evander Holyfield, one of the best of all time, it's just, that was the first time I was into the fight when they said Oscar fell out, De La Hoya and Evander's. I'm like, oh, okay, that could be interesting. And you look at it, you're like, damn, he's 60?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, he might just be a B6-year-old. And then he gets in there like, he's 60. And it's like, oh, stop the fight, man. Like, it's just not, that was the only time throughout all these kind of circus acts, I was like, oh, this is too much. I felt bad for him, man.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. It was crazy, you know. He looked real rusty. He looked 60. He might have looked 70, you know. So yeah, I don't know about him fighting again. Maybe he fight another guy from the nursing home.
And fight another 60-year-old.
Yeah, fight another 60-year-old.
Yeah, fight Biden. It'd be a good fight. You think about it. Fight, yeah, legit fight, man. Where you at on like the Jake Paul, Logan Paul stuff? Like, were you rooting for Woodley when he fought Jake?
Oh yeah, I was rooting for Woodley. You know,
I'm always pro. Like, I don't mean to interrupt you, but like, especially Logan and Jake, like they're friends. But you know, my background's UFC,
right.
MMA, so I ride hard for those guys. Like, I'm still UFC alumni, so I don't want them to get embarrassed. So I always root for them.
Right.
I thought going to the fight, if Woodley came in with a different mindset than his previous like 5 fights and actually pulled the trigger, he's gonna fuck him up. But he kind of fought like he usually does. Like he kind of, you know, waits and he's timid. It's like, bro, you got him. Go.
That's what I was telling everybody the whole time. Is like a lot of people say, oh, Woodley's gonna get knocked out. There's no way he win this fight. I was like, Woodley is good at being patient.
Yep.
More of his problem is not getting started, not going, not being aggressive. Like, it's not like he's getting knocked out in fights. He'll sit back and defend and not really be offensive. So I thought that this time he was going to sit back like he normally did, and then he was going to just like know that he can outbox this guy. You know, Jake, time of not boxing was going to catch up to him. And it kind of played out just like I thought it would, but Woodley waited too late to get started. You know,
he just didn't pull the trigger. Even when he rocked him, I was like, oh, now he's going to let loose. But I think for Woodley in that fight, like obviously getting the biggest bag he's ever got, he's like, all right, even if I lose this kid, I ain't becoming a meme like Nate Robinson. Like he might beat me, but I'm becoming a meme. So to me, he just never risks. And to get a knockout, you know this, you gotta take some risks, man. But he just never risks it. He's like, that's fine. He beats me in decision, but I ain't get knocked out like Askren or some of these other cats.
I think that was the biggest thing too, is that he wanted to win, but he wanted to not be a meme so much that he wasn't going to risk it at all. He wanted to take no risk.
Yeah,
you know,
just didn't want, just calculated it and was like, nah, this ain't worth it.
And by the time he realized he had the boxing advantage or that he can like get it done, it was too late. And then Jake kind of let him know, like, hey, you come in crazy. Then he kind of backed off again, you know? So
I think it's fun though. I think there's a lane for it. I think it does stop once Jake loses. I think kind of this ride ends, you know what I'm saying? But I'm happy for guys like Woodley, Ben Askren, because again, it's the biggest bag they've ever got. So like they're winning no matter what. Like people make fun of them. Oh, you lost to Jake. They're walking away with whatever, 10, 15 million bucks.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah, I feel you, I would say for sure. And Woodley's been was he Strikeforce champ?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Strikeforce champ.
And then
UFC
lost the
champ.
belt to Nate and then came to the UFC, won the UFC belt. Like Woodley's a beast.
Right. So like a guy, if anybody deserves, that's him. Ben Askren was a guy who traveled all over, was in Bellator. He came to the UFC and it was like, let's see how real this guy is.
Yep.
And he kind of had a little skid. He went like 1-2, could have went 0-3.
Yeah.
So
Robbie Lawler fight was dicey.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about somebody who really deserved it, definitely Woodley.
100%.
Askren was kind of like, what are you doing in this fight? He just had hip surgery or like, for sure, but it's like certain things, like, are you going to get that big embarrassed? Are you going to really put yourself in something just for the money if you really had no chance of competing? You know what I mean? Like, what do you draw the line?
For Ben, and I think he'll say it, so I'm not speaking on turn here. For him, he was just like, bro, I'm going to make millions of bucks. I'm not a boxer. I don't really give a shit. I'm barely going to train. I'm just going to get this bag and get out of here. People make fun of me anyways. Other than that, I don't give a shit. And then Woodley was like there to, win. It's just tough, man,
Yeah. I mean, that's the fine line right there. Like I said, I can't see myself, but I'm a competitor, and I guess that's why I'm having success, at age 37, is that I'm going to consistently train. I'm going to really push myself.
Yeah, and I think with like certain guys, and it's credit to you, it's like a lot of these vets, because you could have easily, after you lost it, because you, again, Strikeforce days, the UFC, you have a great career. Like, you fought everybody, dude. And then you lose to Izzy and he's a champ. You could have been like, all right, I'll fight a couple more times and go figure something else out to do. But it's like that loss after Izzy, forced you to change camps. Now you win 5 fights in a row. And like, I bet if you look at the roster, a lot of guys, especially at 37, they take a big hit like that, they don't bounce back, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's tough to switch camps. It's tough to get out of your comfort zone. It's tough to go in the gym at Sanford MMA and train with these monsters day in, day out. But literally, that's only the way you're gonna get to where you want to go. I think Till could take a page, granted, you beat him, but I think his one thing he can learn, I do think he'll bounce back and do well. One thing I think he could learn from you is the way after the Izzy loss. Like, you could have stayed there and kept beating up on the dude that worked at Starbucks where the fuck you're fighting, you know what I'm saying? But Izzy, I think he looks at his camp, there's obviously, he's missing certain components when it comes to grappling, putting it all together. Obviously, striking's off the hook, but when it comes down to like the art of mixed martial arts, it might be time to switch camps. And if I look at anybody, look at you, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he should look at him like, well, A, he beat me, and then B, I just need to get my grappling, wrestling back together. Like, if I'm him, I reach out to you to train.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Sometimes you gotta assess. You gotta make those hard assessments. It's not like you gotta abandon your home team.
I'm not saying ditch your team, but you can add supplements, some shit in there.
Sure. Yeah, figure out a team where you can get more sparring. More wrestlers, more like kind of like a melting pot of things, and then always keep your home base.
You have to.
Yeah,
he almost has to.
You have to. Yeah.
When you lost to Izzy, so you lost. Did you lose the fight before that and then fight Izzy? Did you lose 2 in a row?
Right, yeah.
Right? You lost 2 in a row.
Right.
And you would have been, that was 2018?
Yeah. And so
you would have been what, 34?
Something like that, yeah.
So 34, right? 34, you have all the fights in the world. You got some miles on you, dog. You're 34, you got some miles on you. 2 in a row. You lost to Izzy. Could you tell, like, in your camp, like, your people around you, like, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? You want to invest in that used car dealership? You know what I'm saying? Like people starting to give up on you a little bit?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean that happens, you know. Yeah, when you know, like you said, I'm 34. I lost 2 in a row. You see people around you start to fade a little bit, fade to the back a little bit, start to be like, oh, well, maybe he don't have it anymore.
Yep.
So and that the 2 fights I lost in a row was my transition from Jackson's MMA to I opened my gym at home, so I thought I can get it done.
That's a beast, man.
You know, so
that's a beast. How what's your family say? Like what's your wife and kids? Like, cause your kids now, what'd you say, 14, 13?
Yeah, 13, 14, 6, and 2.
So 13, 14, they know what's going on.
Right, yeah.
So they know exactly what's going on. They watch the fights. You let them watch fights.
Instagram. They on Instagram. All their friends got Instagram. Yeah. So yeah, if your dad's a meme, they might be getting in some fights in school, you know? So I gotta minimize. I gotta be out there fighting like Woodley, man. I can't be a meme. I can't be a meme.
Man. You gotta be self-conscious of that. And do they want to fight? Do they want to compete?
So my daughters, they were doing martial arts for like all their life. And they just started playing soccer like within the last year. So they like really big on soccer right now. But they definitely know how to defend themselves.
What about the younger ones?
The young ones, yeah, they're boys. So my 2 oldest are girls and the 2 young ones are boys. They love it. Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
Would you let them fight?
Would I let them fight? I wouldn't urge them to fight, but I wouldn't not let them fight either, you know?
Because I'm not blood, you know what I'm saying? Then you're kind of, you know what you're doing.
That's the thing, too, is that, like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I've been through it. So I made mistakes, so I can tell them what mistakes not to make. Kind of like AJ McKee and his dad. You know, he made mistakes. He was a late bloomer at, like, 40. I think he got in the UFC. So he knew exactly how to
tell the game. Yeah, what to avoid. Yeah. Goddamn, it's worked out for him.
Yeah.
AJ McKee Jr. is a monster.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's working for him.
Yeah, they got stuff.
For you, obviously, you're hoping for a title shot next, but is in your head, 30, 37, your head, do you have a timeline of what you, like, is there, you know, obviously your focus on becoming world champion, but at your age and you have family, is there something that you're like, all right, I'm going to do this till I'm 40, you know what I'm saying? You trying to do the Vitor Belfort thing, 44, knocking out Evander, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the...
Yeah, when I get 44, I want to fight a 70-year-old. You know, I want one up him, you know? I'm going to the nursing home, I'm pick my opponent.
Some guy.
Be like, hey, man, I got this little, you know, it's going to give you a little bit of money to
Oscar De La Hoya bite, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
So any game plan, or you just focus on getting this title shot?
Yeah, the plan is focused on getting the title shot, winning the title, defending a couple times. And let's say hypothetically, if Brendan Brunson was to lose, then I ride off. But, you know, I don't know if I can lose, you know.
It doesn't look that way, my man. You're on a tear.
Yeah. That's the game.
This food's not going to help you get there, but thank God you're not fighting soon.
Yeah, man. I got something called Dieter's Tea. So, like, yeah, this will be memories of the past as soon as I consume it.
Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah. I don't need that. Those Oreos will wash that down. That's my dieting tea. Well, man, like I told you in the DMs, man, you won me a lot of money. I've been rooting for a while, man. You're just one of the guys that's always been around, man. I think finally you're getting the credit you deserve, man. And I hope it all works out, brother. You know who we're rooting for here. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Derek Brunson, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
The best,
Thank
man.
you. All right.